now we're going to talk about the history of the atomic model and atomic structures. And there's a lot of info here, so I've already wrote a lot of it down, but there's some blanks we're going to fill in during the reading. So we start off with Dalton, and in 1808 he proposes the atomic theory. And that says that each element is made of tiny particles called atoms. Atoms of a given element are identical, and atoms of different elements are different in some fundamental ways. And also, chemical compounds are formed when atoms of different elements combine with each other, and a given compound always has the same relative number and type of atoms. The next kind of breakthrough with the atomic model and structure was in 1898 through 1903 when J.J. Thomson was doing his experiment with the cathode ray. And he found that when high voltage was applied across two metal nodes in the cathode ray tube, a negatively charged beam was produced. And this led to the plum pudding model of the atom. And that consisted of a positive charged cloud, or positively charged cloud, with negative electrons embedded in it. So over here we'll kind of just draw what that looked like. So we have our positive cloud, and inside of that positive cloud he just had them randomly have electrons throughout here. Okay, so moving on, we have in 1909, Robert Millikan did his oil drop experiment. And this experiment was when he used charged oil drops and he sprayed them throughout a hole between two charged plates and watched how they fell. And from this, he determined the charge and mass of the electron. So the next step we had was in 1911 when Rutherford's metal foil experiment occurred, and that determined that there must be a large positive mass at the center of the atom, which disproved the plum pudding model that J.J. Thomson had proposed. And the way Rutherford knew this was because he was shooting particles at metal foil, and he kept getting things bouncing off. And in this plum pudding model, you would have rays go straight through because the electrons wouldn't be large enough to stop anything. However, if there's a large mass in the center, things would bounce off it. And the next development was in 1922. You have Niels Bohr, and he just introduced the idea of the electron orbital shells. And in 1932, we had James Chadwick, and he discovered the neutron. So this is kind of a brief history of the atomic model and the important discoveries that led to what we know today.